Welcome back to South First Inside View, and today I'm joined by my colleague Sumit Kumar Jha from Telangana. In fact, Sumit covers health for South First. He's been covering a very important story today. That is the 31st of January. Chief Minister Revanth Reddy has just laid the foundation stone for a brand new Osmania General Hospital. In fact, Sumit and myself, we had a talk. Sumit pitched this idea. He said, Nolan, you must actually focus on the Osmania General Hospital. It's so important. I had some other ideas, but well, he prevailed ultimately. So, Sumit, very busy day for your chief minister, big day for the people of Hyderabad. Before we go and talk about what really has transpired over all these years, I've actually read a number of articles that you have written on the Osmania General Hospital, the PILs, the problems that the patients faced, many of them being having been needed to be treated while lying on the ground. I mean, that was shocking.
Yes.
And see the ceiling, the fans following, and so many issues, the flooding, and so on and so forth. But before that, tell our viewers how important is the Osmania General Hospital?
Thank you, Nolan. Thanks for having me here for this podcast. And yeah, it's very interesting to sit with you because you ask a lot of interesting questions from different perspectives. So it's very interesting for me also to go back and read my own stories and come back with the perspectives. So I'll come to the point of like what is happening around, but we have to look at the medical infrastructure. There is primary healthcare center, secondary healthcare center, and then tertiary healthcare center. Hyderabad's Osmania General Hospital was one of the first tertiary care centers in the country. It was built in it started after Hyderabad flood, and then it started seeing patients in 1990. The importance of Osmania General Hospital comes with the fact that this was one of the hospital, like historically, it was the first hospital, but also it catered not only the people of Hyderabad, Telangana right now, but also was catering while patients from Andhra Pradesh, United Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, people from Raichur, Bidar, all of them used to come to Osmania General Hospital for the treatment. And also from even people from Chhattisgarh, they turn up to Osmania General Hospital for the treatment. This is the tertiary care center where from your skin transplantation to cadaver liver transplantation, this happened at free of cost. So people turn up to this hospital when, yes, there is a need for the patient to be taken care of. So this is the importance of Osmania General Hospital. And one more thing, apart from being historically important, this hospital also has given a lot of alumni. Like one of the first medical colleges, right now it has 250 MBBS seats, like the highest cap. And since last 70, 80 years, if we look back at that students' alumni, then you will find the alumni of Osmania General Hospital in every nook and corner of the country. So this is how, this is why this hospital is important for the healthcare in Telangana,
You know what,
especially in
Sumit, when I
Hyderabad.
was reading your articles, what I did was I wanted to find out when it was actually set up. Okay. And I realized it's very old. But you know, I'm from Mysuru. I'm very biased towards Mysuru. So I went back to see when was the KR hospital in Mysuru set up to figure out which
Okay.
was actually the oldest. So
Yeah.
it's very interesting. No, but you know what I realized? That the rulers in the past, in the bygone
Yeah.
era, actually
Mhm.
thought about the health of the people much more. This is my personal opinion, but much more than what we see today.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They set up a hospital
See,
there so that people can be treated.
uh, so this hospital was set up after Hyderabad 1908 flood. The element of that flood was that it devastated the whole city. thousands of people died in that flood. And the ruler, the Nizam, at that point of time, he was quite visionary that he thought of it to making it not only for catering for one generation, but he thought of hundred of years beyond his own time. And yeah, it's after 106 years, we are now going to see a new hospital. For 100 years, into 2020, the hospital, the old building, the original structure got closed due to the flooding and infrastructural issue. But for 100 years, that hospital building served the people of Hyderabad, United Andhra, and then Telangana. And still, that structure is there. And yeah, it was a visionary who made that hospital possible at that point of time.
Now, you went and covered this the foundation laying ceremony. The chief minister was there. Tell me something very quickly before we actually go back to the old building. What will the new hospital entail? I mean, how big is this area? I do not know much about Hyderabad. I've come there a few times, but I've not really seen and gone inside the Osmania Hospital. There was no necessity. But the new building, the new hospital, what all will be there? Because I'm told it's it's going to be a world-class facility, some 2,000 odd beds or something.
Yeah. So this new hospital will be of 32 lakh square feet, and it will be the hospital will have 2,000 beds, as well as facilities which we see in the modern hospitals, 12-floor building plus ground and 2 basements. In that campus itself, there will be hostels for the boys, girls, as well as mortuary. And one thing which I really find fascinating here is that they are building a dharmsala. They are saying, the government said that they are also going to build a dharmsala. It means that the patient who is going to get admitted, their family members can also stay in the hospital campus, in the hostel which the government is going to build. So this was the most fascinating part. The important part was that the hospital is going to be just few kilometers from the original location. The original hospital which was there, the heritage building, it will be just few kilometers from there. And the patient, they don't have to travel. Like if we are looking at the space, the hospital could have been built outside the city, like AIIMS BB Nagar. It is in Telangana, but this AIIMS BB Nagar is around 40 kilometers from the center of the Hyderabad. It could have been, but here the government did the right thing, that they have built the hospital at the prime location where they can cater to the all class and caste people.
Actually, it's a very good idea. I mean, because many times, you know what, you're in the hospital, the patient's caretakers are somewhere else. They're running helter-skelter to find a place to stay. This is fabulous. But I just want to know, like in Mysuru, because it's a heritage city, most of the buildings in and around the palace have to maintain that heritage sort of, structure, feel, and look. Will the new building also, the new hospital building, or all the other buildings that are going to come up, also have that heritage look, or will it be a brand new, horrible glass structure?
Okay. So that's a question which I was also wondering, that what would be the look of the...
Yeah, it's very important.
Because Osmania General Hospital, if anyone thinks of that, like from my imagination, the dome in different parts of the building and the old brown color walls.
Yeah, the pic that you sent me, I saw that, the domes and all. It's very old, like a palace.
Yeah. I was also thinking, but no, it won't be like that. To cater to the large number of patients, to have different facilities, the government can't afford to build a historical, architecturally historical building. But they are building, putting a building which is going to serve the primary reason of setting up this hospital is to serve the people. And there will be 2,000 bed hospital with all the facilities, from your from even like wastewater management will be inside the hospital facility, as well as the STP plant they are going to set up. So everything will be in with modern technology, but not the architecturally, not the historically significant. The building won't be that historically significant.
I'm very happy with what you mentioned about wastewater, because with the new podcast that we have started on, Let's Talk
Yes.
Water, anything to do with water, sort of, I'm like, okay, what's happening?
Yeah.
Wastewater is the future. We need to start using that.
Yes.
See, I'm promoting my podcast. But all right, what really happens to the old building now, the old hospital?
So, see, it's a question of politics, question of heritage, question of preserving a site. When there are some rulings, High Court rulings, and as well as ASI's Archaeological Survey of India's ruling, that this is that like the buildings which are over 100 years, or some, I think over 100 years, that building should be preserved. Something is some ruling is something like that. So when there was fight between there was demand by the doctors association, the students, doctors, to demolish that old structure, that old building, and construct a new building at the same place. Many of the historians, they came, they fought for it. They filed PIL in High Court, telling that, okay, this structure is quite old. The government can build a hospital anywhere in the state because they have the land, they have everything, they have the resources. But if this structure will be demolished, we are not going to see anything like that again in future. So we have to preserve that. That was the demand by the architectural activist. And somehow, what happened? There comes the politics now. The politics of and going to the politics. Before politics, I want to talk about this morality. If there is a building and if someone is dying, in one hand, just imagine that there is a historical building, and then on other hand, we see that, okay, there is a patient who is going to die. What is important, saving that building or the patient?
Patient.
And it's a very, of course. So this was the demand by the Hyderabad MP, Asudin Owaisi, that we have to look for the patient. We have to see the people who stays in this city, who this hospital is serving, and for that we need to demolish this hospital and build a new structure. This was the demand. On other hand, the previous government in 2023, they filed an PIL saying that, okay, we are ready to demolish the parts of the hospital because we want the patient to be taken care. But the problem was that the court cases didn't take that much of time. Court cases take a lot of time, so it did not materialize, and the government changes. When the new Congress government has come, in August, they announced that, okay, we are going to build a new building. We are going to preserve the old structure and are going to make that old structure a heritage site. Heritage site where we are going to build it, we are going to preserve in a way that it will become a tourist destination as well. So now the hospital building is still in the possession of the health department. It has not gone to any other tourism or any road and building departments. We have to see in the future, we have to wait for some time that for how long the government is going to take to make that building accessible for the public to see it as an architectural site.
Sumit, I'm actually wondering, from the picture that you sent me, that's a massive hospital. So,
Yes.
it's good if they want to convert it into a heritage structure and save it and use it for tourism, but it's that big. So, are there any plans to maybe shift some offices over there, or I don't know what are they planning to do, because it's so big?
Okay. So here I want to mention this particularly incident of July 2020. I had just joined a news website here in Hyderabad in June, and June 2020, when the COVID was at its peak. And because there was nothing new to cover, every reporters were asked to cover about the COVID situation. I was also one of them at that point of time to cover the COVID. And I went to Osmania Hospital. First time I saw the building. getting people getting treated, and that building amazed me. Like, okay, how fascinating this building is. But within days, on July 5th, there was a huge flooding. Like huge, there was a nala broken. Actually, Osmania General Hospital is just beside the Musi River. The river was flowing. A nala pipeline got broken, and all the water entered inside the hospital. The patient has to be shifted to the new site. Kulikutupsa, there is one other building of Osmania there. And that day, that was the last time any patient got treated in that part of the heritage structure. The problem is that now that it needs to be preserved. Like the kind of structure that building is right now, we cannot set up a new office, or even some of the government officials were saying that, okay, we want to set up some library, big library where people can come and learn, because it gives that kind of vibe, historical vibe, old building, and books will be around. So people might be interested in coming here and reading. But he also made the point that we have seen the incident of like those silt, like it was not the cement through it. Cement was not used at that point of time to build that structure. So the things which was, I think it was silt or some, what do you call that?
Limestone or
Limestone, which
something?
was
Yes,
used.
limestone. Could be.
Yeah, yeah. So those things are now falling from the walls, and it can endanger the lives and health of the people. So now we have to look forward that what government is going to do with that old structure. But
But is it
I'm
safe?
hopeful that they'll do
But
something good.
but Sumit, when you're saying all these things, I'm just wondering, is it safe to, I mean, keep that building there in the first place? If you're saying
Yes,
that things
yeah,
are
it is safe.
falling,
No, so Intake, there is an organization who do the surveys of these
heritage
old
structures, yes.
structures, and yes, so they have done quite a lot survey, and they have said that the building is, uh, if you want to preserve it as a site, historical importance, the building is quite well to do. It can be preserved for long. But if you are going to do things inside the building, if you are going to drill a hole to make oxygen pipe, put an oxygen pipeline throughout the hospital building, that's not a good idea, because that the building won't take that much of pressure from different construction and different stuff. So they have said that just make it, it can be preserved for years and years if you're going to just keep it as it is, as a historical site. But if you're going to do anything in it, then there will be damages, and that can harm the structure.
Tell me something, Sumit. You have written so many articles now on this. I think from 2022 you started writing, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
5, 6 articles. Do you feel some sort of, okay, you know what, something has culminated now?
Yes,
I've followed
yes,
politics around it. I've followed issues of the patients not being treated because of, well, space crunch, and then the PILs and everything that happened. And finally, this hospital, a new hospital, is going to be set up. Do you feel that, okay, at least my story
yeah,
have had some.
yes. I am. I am feeling light, but I am also a bit doubtful. See, any structure needs to be. It takes time to be constructed. This new structure, at least like the minister said that the structure will be finalized by 2027. And he has given 2 years of timeline. But the point here is that only the architectural designs and has been approved. The funds have not been released till now. The complete fund, that is 2,700 crore rupees, that will come till for, like, we don't know when it will come. Looking at uh, all these aspects of new building, I don't feel that this will be constructed before 2028 or 29.
Wow.
So it will take time. The here, but again, I am like a bit pessimistic, because why every year during the time of monsoon, from June to till October end or November, starting of November, uh, I try to like I every year I think that I'm not going to cover anything from Osmania, but at least two stories I do about that hospital, because you will see that patients sleeping on the floor doctors doesn't have much of things to do. They don't have even bed to do the to operate the patient. Patients are there is no if you are opting for some surgery in that hospital, it's really hard to get that done. Otherwise, you will have to move to other hospital. For emergency, they are serving quite good. But again, hopefully, it won't come to the hospital for next 2 3 years. The kind of situation I have seen, and many of the reporters have reported about it. Hopefully, things will turn after this.